Hello and welcome to Flow Mechanics. In today's episode, we are deep diving the Steel Mace 360, one of the most important movements in Mace Flow. Since this is a challenging movement for most people's coordination and mobility, I'm going to progressively teach the 360 in 4 amazing movements and then a special challenge flow at the end of the video. So grab your mace and let's get started. The first movement of our progression today is going to be the shield cast, which is an amazing movement because it increases your mobility, increases the strength of your scapular muscles, and it increases your proprioception, which is critical for a 360. To perform it, we're going to take one hand in the middle of our mace. Higher is going to be easier, lower is going to make it harder. Bring it to the side, your upper body can shift to face the mace a little bit, and I'm simply going to push it back and behind until the mace is vertical, parallel to my spine. My elbow points up towards the ceiling and not out towards the side. Next, I'm simply going to pull it down and then just repeat the movement. And you can do this on both sides. I recommend doing as many reps as it takes for it to feel comfortable. Obviously perform it on both sides. And then the real challenge comes when you switch between the sides via a back pass. So I'm gonna show you that real quick. So bring it behind in the shield cast, grab hold, and then pull across, and then just repeat. And this is a very important movement for the 360 because it teaches you how to move a weight behind your head with the weight and the momentum moving from side to side. So that is the shield cast. Let's move on to movement number 2. Alrighty, so the shield cast worked our muscles and especially had us moving from side to side. This next movement, called the pullover, is going to emphasize the same muscles but in a different plane of motion because I'm going to be pulling forward. And this is the other key to performing a 360 with strength. So to perform the pullover, you can hold both hands on the mace. Again, at the very bottom is going to be hardest. A little higher up is going to make it easier. And from here, I am simply going to push the mace back and behind until the mace is vertical with my elbows pointing up. Mind you, this requires more shoulder mobility than the shield cast. And next, I'm simply going to pull forward, nice and controlled, keeping it nice and close to my body. And then I'm just going to repeat the movement. And you can also go ahead and add in a squat if you'd like to. This is called a barbarian squat, and it's a really fantastic one, obviously for your shoulders and your lower body. That's our second movement. Do reps of the pullover until you also feel comfortable. It's more demanding for your mobility, and it's a little bit more demanding on your lats and some of your other musculature. Let's move on to movement number 3. Our third movement is called a halo, and it's different than a kettlebell halo or a dumbbell halo because obviously you are using the mace, which makes it very different. And it also prepares us very well for the 360. Now there are 2 ways that you can do the halo. One is with the mace head up. This is the more regular style. And the other is the sword grip version. I always recommend starting in the sword grip because it's extra easy to actually control as you go through the motion. But the actual regular grip is better for learning how the momentum of the mace behaves as you swing. So to perform this, I'm going to start in sword grip and I'm going to push the mace up, pointing it straight to the side, and I'm looking to have my hands not straight in front of my face, but a little bit offset. And from here, I'm just gonna keep pushing up, drop the mace behind, so again, it's vertical. You can even swing it here if you like, loosen up your hands a little bit, and then I'm going to pull through on the other side. And that is the basic halo. Once you've mastered that, you can move on to the regular halo. So same thing, I'm gonna push up to the side like a block. I'm gonna drop the mace behind. Again, I highly recommend swinging here so you can figure out how your grip needs to adapt, and then you're going to pull back over. And that is the mace halo. Make sure you do both sides and make sure that your mobility and your strength can handle it. And this is especially where you start to learn the coordination required for the 360. So definitely take some time. You can even from this position, choke down on your mace and swing behind. You can do that mace halo with your hands a little lower. That's the mace halo. Now we're going to move on to the 360 itself, movement number 4. Alrighty, here we are, the full 360. At this point, you should have mastered the first 3 movements and you should feel comfortable in all of them. You should also feel very comfortable with bringing the mace behind your head and letting it swing side to side like the pendulum of a clock. It's really important you go side to side and not front and back, because otherwise, if you do front and back, the mace is gonna hit you, which we don't want. So, to perform our 360, I'll bring both hands to the bottom of my mace. I'll actually choke up just so I can slow it down a little more easily. And I'm going to press to the side, kind of like I'm punching up, and you'll notice the mace head is gonna wanna drop behind, right? It has all of that potential energy, and it's gonna swing behind me. I'm gonna let it go vertical, and then I'm going to pull through on this side. So it is a push, drop, pull. Push, drop, pull. Push, drop, pull. Now, obviously it's gonna take some time to get this movement down because there's a lot of coordination that has to happen. The biggest thing that I can tell you is always keep your core nice and active and a nice long spine as you drop the mace behind you like a pendulum. And if you do that and you don't push too hard on one side or pull too hard on the other, you'll eventually find the balance where you have the Goldilocks, quote unquote, amount of push and then of pull through. And now, as promised, today's challenge. So once you can do a 360 for at least 10 reps to either side, try out this challenge. I'm gonna show it to you first, and then I'm gonna talk through how to perform it. It's really simple. I'm going from a lateral lunge, 360, lateral lunge, and then back. We're gonna see how quickly we can perform it and how smooth we can make it. So here are the keys to actually performing it. Both hands bottom of the mace, one hand top of the mace. I'm gonna step out into lateral lunge. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull the mace up. I'm gonna curl it up, come back to center as it comes across my body. It's gonna go over the opposite side shoulder. Hand's gonna drop down, 360. That hand is gonna rise to the top of the mace and then step out into the lateral lunge on the other side. And then you'll just repeat. So curl, 360, step out, and repeat. And that is the challenge. If you can do 20 total reps of that, you have clearly executed that challenge and you have my sincere congratulations. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to level up your mace skills fast. And I will see you on the next Flow Made Simple video. Peace.